All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you listening to the Midday Show, I am DJ Joey, and as you may have heard, John Legend is coming to Taiwan very soon, March 19th at Nangon C3 Plaza. And for those of you like me who's been a fan of his since he debuted in '04, I hope you got tickets to the show. Now, John stormed out of the gate running. He debuted with Get Lifted, won the '06 Grammy Awards for Best R&B Album, among a couple of others, including Best New Artist and Best Male R&B Vocal Performance for Ordinary People. He delivered platinum albums one after another. His music is soulful, it's graceful. His character, I would say he's well-mannered and always composed. But today we get a chance to find out what the legend is like in living colors as we welcome John Legend to the Midday Show. John, it's so good to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you guys and really excited to come to play in Taipei for the very first time.
Now, this is not your first time in Asia. What do you always look forward to when you visit this part of the world?
Yeah, we've been to lots of places in Asia, but we're looking forward to the entire trip. We'll be in Japan, we'll be in South Korea, we'll be in the Philippines, and Malaysia, and Thailand, and China as well. You know, my favorite part of any trip is the food, and especially in Asia, I'm going to enjoy eating.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, of course, playing for our fans.
Yeah, in Asia, we pride ourselves on the food here. Have you developed a palate for the Asian food?
Definitely. As you know, my wife is half Thai, and so there's a lot of Asian food that is eaten in our home, and I'm a big fan, so... I liked it before, but now I love it. Whether it's Thai food or hot pot or,
Nice.
pho or sushi. We're just eating all kinds of Asian food all the time in our house.
Oh, good, because Taiwan is essentially a central hub, a collective of all those kind of things you just mentioned. So you're going to have fun here. But speaking about your family, are you going to be bringing any of your family along for the ride?
Yeah, they'll be along for some of it. I think they have to go home right before we go to Taipei, but they're going to be with me the first half of the trip, and then Chrissy has to go back home to get back to work. So she's coming to as much as she can.
Recently on Ellen's show, Chrissy told us that you guys will be expecting in June, so congratulations.
Thank you. We're excited.
How has parenthood influenced your professional career?
Well, I think it influences everything. We really love having Luna in our lives. She's such a light and such an exciting part of our lives. And I think it makes you think about everything you do when it comes to work and making sure your priorities are right and making sure your scheduling is right. And also I think it just gives me more inspiration for what I write and what I think about.
Luna, speaking of her, she's about to celebrate her second birthday in mid-April. But ahead of that, you yourself are going to be doing something pretty impressive in early April. On Easter Sunday, you're going to be playing the lead role of Jesus Christ Superstar live on NBC. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm so excited. We're in the middle of rehearsals right now. I've been steeped in it every day, focusing on getting ready to play that role. And then we're going to take a break and come to Asia for a few weeks and then come back to New York and rehearse for another week, and then it'll be Easter Sunday, and we'll be live in front of the world playing Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, this is going to be interesting. A lot of our listeners might be too young to know about this show. This is an Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice musical production. This has won the hearts of billions since the 70s. Have you grown up with the show, and how did this collaboration come about?
Well, I've known about the show for a long time. I sang some of the songs when I was in show choir in high school. So I've been very familiar with that musical, but also a lot of Andrew Lloyd Webber stuff over the years. And so it's really cool to actually work with them. I got to spend time with Andrew already, and I'm really excited to play this character.
All right. Well, I mean, we can't wait. I certainly can't wait. Don't forget, everybody else, Easter Sunday on NBC, John Legend alongside Sarah Bareilles and Alice Cooper. It's going to be a great show, Jesus Christ Superstar Live. But let's now talk about the album, Darkness and Light, released late 2016. Would you say, John, is this a conceptual album? And if so, what's the overarching theme? Of course, there's love and family, but what else is also on this album?
Well, I think the title, I usually... some artists like to start with a title and a concept and then write a bunch of songs for it. I usually do it the other way around. I start with songs and see where my mind is as I'm writing new songs, and then I see what themes emerge from the songs and then title the album. And so that's what I did with this album as well. And that theme of darkness and light kept kind of emerging in the lyrics of the songs that I was writing. And I think the idea behind darkness and light is that there is darkness in the world. There's fear, there's uncertainty, there's conflict. But we're looking for that light in our family and music and love. And this album is about that search for light in the darkness.
Okay. When I first saw the name of the album, I thought, okay, first you have darkness and then you have light. I thought you were going to come to an epiphany and we're going to end up on a high note, on a light note, I would say. But the last track of the album is called Marching Into the Dark. Can you tell us about the planning of that song being the last track?
Well, I never wanted it to be like one half of the album is dark and one half of the album is light. I wanted it to be kind of a push and pull where you're kind of struggling between darkness and light the whole time. That last song, Marching Into the Dark, really was about uncertainty and not knowing what the future brings. And also, particularly in that song, we were thinking about people who have given their lives for struggles, for like freedom and for justice for other people, wondering, will they ever understand what they've been able to give to us? Will they ever know, the results of their labor? Will we ever get to the place where, where we reach the promised land that those people wanted us to get to? And so the idea is that you're marching into the dark, saying you're moving forward, you're trying to make progress, but you don't know if you're ever going to get there.
But you got to keep your head up, right?
But you got to keep marching. That's the idea behind the song.
All right. There's a lot of great tracks on the album. I particularly like a lot of the collaborations with Chance the Rapper, Brittany Howard from Alabama Shakes, and you got R&B extraordinaire Miguel also on the track. For you, what's one of your favorite tracks, and can you tell us a story so I can play it for our listeners?
Oh, I love Overload, the track I did with Miguel. It was the last song we wrote for the album, and we had been trying to get a session with Miguel for a while. Both of our schedules didn't line up for a while. And then finally, just as we were about to finish the album, we hung out for a few hours in the middle of the week in Los Angeles, and we came up with something in a few hours that was really cool and ended up being one of my favorite songs of the album. Here it is.
All right, Miguel and John Legend on Overload right here on ICRT. Okay, John, this next question is for myself. I love all of your albums, but I especially adore the collabo you did in 2010 with The Roots. For those of you who haven't heard this won the Grammy Award for Best R&B Album. And I think this was an album that was inspired when you were campaigning for Obama, where you were kind of reflecting the social ambience of that moment. Would you consider a collabo like this or an album that speaks out to the social or political atmosphere of where you are?
Yeah, I think I would consider doing that again. I really loved that project. I loved working with The Roots on it, and I'm really proud of it still. I just popped it in the other day just to kind of reminisce on that time period. It was really a beautiful time of making music together, and it feels like it almost would have been better to come out now.
Yeah, I thought so.
Than back then. Yeah, I just feel like the subject matter is so important right now, and I think people are really aware of what's happening politically because we have such a disturbing person running our country right now.
Yeah, you and Chrissy have both been very outspoken when it comes to the persons that you are. And, of course, we love to hear more musically for you to speak out. Of course, you worked on collabo albums like we were just mentioning, Wake Up. But there's also, you've appeared in so many movies. You contributed to the soundtrack or you actually appeared in the movies. Beauty and the Beast, Selma, Django Unchained, and La La Land. So what's next for John Legend? What else do you want to do?
Well, after we get done with Jesus Christ Superstar, I'm going to go back and start writing more new material and recording the next album. My production company is always moving ahead with new projects as well. So there'll probably be some more film and music collaborations in my future. And fatherhood is next, too. Fatherhood times two with the new baby coming, and I'm excited about that, too.
Yeah, and good luck juggling two babies and a career at the same time. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All right. Lastly, what's your show, John, going to be like here in Asia? And maybe a shout out to our listeners and your fans here in Asia.
Yeah, I think people are going to love the show. The show is all about the music. It's all about love. It's all about connecting to each other and feeling that love among each other. And we do songs from all of the albums, from Get Lifted Through Darkness and Light, including Wake Up. And I hopefully we'll play all your favorites, and we'll have a really fun, energetic, loving night.
All right, this is John Legend. Don't forget, he's going to be in Taipei March 19th, Nangon C3 Plaza. Tickets are nearly sold out. You might be lucky enough to grab a couple of them still. And John, thank you so much for taking the time to take this interview.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Can't wait to see you, and you have a good day, all right?
See you soon.
Hello, handsome and gorgeous. Thank you for watching our video. If you like more general shenanigans or artist interviews, please make sure you click to the next video, but also make sure you subscribe to us by pressing the bell button down here, because we like to tell you more about fun stuff coming up.